So you can see this is the homepage for centralohioentrepreneurs.org. Again, this is a free resource that is provided to the Central Ohio business community. It is through the partnership of Tech Columbus, the Columbus Chamber of Commerce, OCLC, the Columbus Metropolitan Library, and the SBDC. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to talk briefly about the information that you're going to find on this website. So you'll notice the categories up here: plan, start, and advance. And I'm just going to start with the plan. So the resources that you're going to find under here are for someone who is considering starting a small business, and it's going to be the kind of things that are going to help you think through this process. So one of the ones that I really like is the online surveys. Are you ready to become an entrepreneur? There are several resources in there that will link you through just to help you think through this process. Evaluating the commercial viability of your idea. You definitely want to start a successful business, so there'll be resources there to help you think through this process. I'm going to talk about the Be Financial Savvy resources. So in the Be Financial Savvy, what we have here are resources that are going to help someone understand the different types of financing that is available to a small business. So you'll find primers on how much money do you really need in order to start a business, an article on debt financing, talking about the pros and cons of taking out a business loan, grants. There's a link to the business.gov explaining exactly what's involved with a grant from the government, links to resources for information on angel investing and venture capital. It's basically resources to help someone wrap their head around the different types of financing that is available about how they're going to start their business. In the Start a Business category, you're going to find resources that an entrepreneur would need while they're launching their business. For example, you're going to have to pick out a company name and determine the best legal structure. So you'll find in here resources that talk about whether the name has been taken, links right to search the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office, links to make sure that your website hasn't been taken, an article just talking about best practices in naming your business, and primers talking about the advantages and disadvantages of the different types of legal structures. I mean, what are you going to be, an LLC or an LLP, a sole proprietor, just to help you figure out what makes sense for your business. Also, you're going to actually need to register. Here are links to register your business. You'll also need to sign up for tax identification number to pay your federal taxes, and here are links directly to where places you can register for that. And also, I'm going to just talk briefly about the financing under Start a Business. In the Find Startup Financing category, you are going to find resources that links to resources that will actually you can apply to get the financing from. So in the instance of equity financing, the angel investing and venture capital, you will find a link to directories of angel investors and venture capital funds. And if you notice that there's a little dollar sign, that means that, for instance, angel startup funding services that match the entrepreneurs to early stage investment, they charge a fee for that. It's probably a nominal fee. You have to go to the website to see. But when you see the little dollar sign, that indicates that the service I'm referencing is a service that is provided at a cost. You'll also see, if you notice down here, there's a little a CML swoosh. That means it's a great resource from your Columbus Metropolitan Library. You will need to authenticate with your Columbus Metropolitan Library card in order to access the resource. And the little globe indicates that the resource targets a special population, so women, minority, veterans, they have a special focus. And now I'm going to go to Advance a Business so you can kind of get a feel for what's inside this category. In the Advance a Business, what you're going to find is resources that will help a small business that doesn't have access to a marketing department or a legal department. In this case, let's talk about financing growth. So you have a small business and you are looking at expanding. There are resources out there specifically to help you, and I have a couple of them listed here. So I'm just going to go to other funding. No, I'll go to the government sources of small business funding. This is kind of matching funds, things along those lines. You'll see a link. The Mid-Ohio Planning Commission maintains a list of current grant opportunities from multiple sources. So it's just a starting place for you. Now I'd also like to show you two specific advanced business category. So marketing. Here are resources that will help a small business get their name out so that prospective clients can find them. And as with all resources on Central Ohio Entrepreneur, my focus was finding free resources and free access to information. So here under small business marketing on online resources, you'll see 50 best free press release submission sites. So these are sites that you can submit your press release and have it released for free. KnowThis.com, their Principle of Marketing tutorial, a free kind of how-to from an authoritative source. You will see there's just a lot of resources that are available. And there are also categories for social media, mobile marketing, just different, and online directories, places you can register your company locally and nationally to basically get your name out there. So say you've navigated through the Plan, Start, and Advance, and you still haven't found what you're looking for, you can come over to the Business Resources search engine. And what will happen here is this is a Google application that will search the websites that are pre-selected by myself as being relevant to information needs for Central Ohio small businesses. So in the case of, and I always like to use this one because it's the clearest example, factoring. When you do a regular Google search on factoring, you will have a couple of hits about 3rd or 4th grade math. And when you do a search on factoring in this search engine, you're going to have links that are more on target right off the bat. So it's the sale of accounts receivable. Here's a toolkit, business owner's toolkit article about it. You know, a couple of other things, structured settlement factoring. Maybe that's not the most relevant, but it is from the IRS. You can see the IRS is one of the websites. Here's the pros and cons of factoring from Business Week, a 2008 article. I personally use this a lot as a jumping off point to understand exactly the most authoritative sources or who is talking about something. Under local networking information, the kind of information that you are going to find here is resources that will connect you with other entrepreneurs. So in this case, it could be blogs, business networking, Central Ohio event calendars. These are links to Central Ohio events, that calendars that these organizations maintain. And this is my newest one that I've added, is the entrepreneurial communities. Click here, and we're going to have an annotated list of not local, but online resources, communities where entrepreneurs are gathering to network and share ideas. Finally, one of the, in my opinion, best parts about the website is that you can actually contact a business librarian. That is myself. My name is April McCullum, and I can help you find the information that you are looking for. Sometimes people say things like, well, why would I, as an entrepreneur, want to talk to a business librarian? And the kind of things that I've helped entrepreneurs find are resources to help write a business plan, resources to prepare for an investor pitch, resources to prepare for a meeting with a prospective client, resources to evaluate a strategic growth plan. Like you have an idea about the direction you want to go, but would like to maybe validate that idea. help you find it discussed in the trade press. I can be reached by a live chat when I'm logged on. I do work 10 hours a week, so sometimes I'm not on. But if you contact me via the click here, or email me or phone me, any of those are acceptable, I will get right back to you. And what you can expect is to have a brief conversation about what kind of information you're looking for. And then I'll give you some ideas about maybe the best place to find it, or I might also think about it and get back to you and send you an email of links. And I know people have found that to be extremely helpful. So thank you very, very much.